everybody, welcome to another video and back to my channel. My name is Mishi. You can call me May actually if you want. I think it's much common and easier to remember, even though I think Mishi is much unique. Well, anyway, it's not about the names, it's just a name. And today I want to talk about, if you're wondering why I'm holding a comb, I'm just trying to hold it to make myself feel more secure in front of the camera. These few days I've been thinking hard a topic that I can make several videos with and make it a playlist. I wanted to start something that I'm good at talking and familiar with. So what is that exactly? I just can't think of any professional things that I can start, talking unstop. So what exactly can I talk about, at the beginning of the channel? And I decided to let you guys to know me better, starting from talking about myself. So here we go. The first reflection video actually is kind of a complete video. I want to talk about things that I don't like when I growing up in a traditional Chinese family. I got a lot to talk about, like about family, You can tell already from me, I am nothing usual, okay? It's not that I'm crazy, but the point is I'm not that normal either. Okay, I speak too much already, and let's begin with something that I don't like. Being a girl, growing up in a traditional Chinese family. But first of all, I have to tell you, I was born in a village in Shunde. That's the city called Shunde. And actually it's a southern city near Hong Kong, which is quite developed. Well, not as developed as Guangzhou, Beijing, but we were almost there. The family that I was raised up is very traditional and conservative. Go back to my parents' generation, they don't receive many education as the people today in China, was 50 years back. And you guys probably know what happened back then in China. But being born in such a traditional cultural Chinese family, I did go through a lot of, depression. So my parents' way of raising children, like many others families in China, they were not so focused on the need of the children. Instead, they probably would focus more on making a living. So the first thing that I don't like when I grow up is man-dominant thinking, Sometimes it reaches a level that you wish you could be a boy, but you cannot. I'll say, I'm gonna cry. I'm gonna directly go back to my mom's belly to tell her, I want to be a boy, just remake me. And it's impossible. I wish I could. The men are dominant in the family. What does it mean? It means that women or girls, being a girl, you have no saying, no right of saying. You will get judged most of the times than the boys do. I remember one of the parent things that I remember clearly is that about the housework. In my family, there's not a single man that would do the household work, and they don't do anything, Typical one would be whenever we have a family gatherings, girls like me and my cousin, we're the same age, just 2 months difference, and we always have to be the ones that wash the dishes. I mean washing dishes, it actually is not a big deal, but the point is, when you have a big family like me, in China we have this round table that you can sit around 12 people. So usually minimum we will have 4 tables for family gatherings. That is the minimum. Sometimes we go to 5. 12 times 4, that is 48. So let's count 50. 4 tables of dishes and bowls and chopsticks. It will take around 2 hours and so to finish the whole thing. Poor me. I mean, when I was growing up, you can't avoid those family gatherings. You can't because you are dependent. When you're dependent, you can't make anything. You can't make choices in China. In my family, like as a girl, you have to help with the cooking. You just basically have to help everything that they need you to do. You are a woman and you're supposed to learn how to do this and how to do that. Oh, sorry. If you can't, that would be a bad girl, bad child. I mean, but for the boys, they don't have these restrictions, you know. They can be up there playing computer games. But that's it. And the second thing is comparison. Chinese parents like to compare. Specifically, will make comparisons when you do something wrong. For example, if you make mistakes, if you rebel, if you talk back, anything that can upset your parents, they could compare. Here's the comparison will begin. They would just tell you, look, like what my mom did. My mom would just like have this face, you know, like ready to explode. Like, look at your cousin, the cousin that was 2 months older than me, younger than me. And they say, look at your cousin, unlike you. She was so good. She would never done something like that. Look at her. And she does so good at school. And did you ever put any work? Usually at that occasion, I would start a fight. Really brutal. Not a fight, not physically fight, you know. It's just an argument with my mom. You know, that's why growing up as a rebel, because I am kind of a talkative person, I like to reason. I'm born like that. I don't know why. And unlike my cousin was really behaved, silent, everything, you know, everything, every quality that a parent wants. It just make me unbearable sometimes. I mean, this is probably when you're growing up and you get compared always with other children in other families live next to your door. I mean, you kind of lack of confidence on a lot of things. And at one point, you started to adopt yourself that you're really not good enough. You are worse, you are less than others. And actually, you're not. I realized that when I growing up. And I never felt they say the right thing. I mean, at least I'm trying to tell my mom not to do that. But, you know, that is how it is. And number 3, that is more cultural things. Warm water. Warm water. It is like warm water is the mighty water that cures everything. When you have a headache, when you have a fever, when you have a sore throat, whenever you have problem with your physical body, like your mom would tell you, drink more water because you don't drink enough water. Warm water, come here, warm water, a glass of water. Here it is, where's my warm water? And it kind of become an obsession about warm water when the children are getting more education from the school. I mean, you're not supposed to feel that you're superior than other people, but you do know some scientific reasons. As not because just you drink less water and you get sick. I mean, I never approve of that. But still, Chinese people, mostly they think like that. Anything happens, warm water fixes everything. But in my specific region called Guangdong province, there is a specific mighty tea called Guangdong herbal tea. If you don't know what is Guangdong herbal tea, I think I don't need to find a definition from Google, Wikipedia to show you guys what is the Guangdong herbal tea is. My mom always makes Guangdong herbal tea for me whenever I tell her that I'm physically unwell. For example, I have a headache. For example, I have a stomach problems, like many others, you know. And my mom will spend 1 or 2 hours making the Guangdong herbal tea. And here's the 1 glass of Guangdong herbal tea for you. I feel like really, you know, kind of being a children, you have no choice. When you're feeling unwell, you have to tell your parents. But I mean, the first thing they do is not taking you to doctors. They will give you some remedy like Guangdong herbal tea to see the effects. So many cultural stuff, I don't even understand exactly how it originates. It helps? I would say kind of, maybe. But the point is, whenever you have that incredibly bitter, probably for you, there's only one type of bitterness. But in Guangdong herbal tea, you can discover thousands of bitterness that you would never ever imagine in your life you will be tasting this. When you have a sip of the Guangdong herbal tea, it takes all your sense of taste away. I mean, basically nothing. You can imagine that you're drinking a really bitter melon mixed with warm water and Chinese medicine. Different smells. I can't describe it, but this is the best way that I can describe it. Of course, many things that I really don't like when I growing up, it's not just like these 4 things that describe. There are many. I believe every one of you have some experience that you don't like when you grow up and they keep haunting you for a very long time, even now. But I believe that, for the people like me, they can conquer everything in the world. You just cannot conquer your parents. You just cannot convince them to do things you can't explain, even if you tried. There are really stubborn person out there, but the most stubborn person would be the parents and their stubborn mind and their conservative thoughts. I hope, but it's nothing to blame. Everybody have their own unique growing experience. I have mine. I just want to share with you guys, Probably it's not really funny, but it's something that I would want to make a mark on. And looking back, that you will see it was hard at the time, but funny when you remember it. There are many things. Okay, I have said enough in this video. I'm gonna go to edit my video and post it. Please don't forget to subscribe my channel. I'm Mishi. See you soon. See you next week. This is the heart. Peace.